All right, so hey, pops. Let's check out this next thing, man. I got a question, man. All the stuff that's going on with Texas, man, and that Article 1, Section 12. Want to make sure I got it right. We know that was issued, and they're making big moves to quote unquote secure their state from illegal immigration and amongst other threats. They mentioned high volume trafficking and drugs and overall terror. So we know that they made this move, and then since then, there's been several states who's done stepped up and in support of their move. But I've been seeing people kind of like saying things online, of course, and I just want to. I'm gonna let this one little woman talk, and then just kind of get your perspective and see, like, I mean, are people thinking too deep into this, or could we be on the verge of some serious things happening in this country? So, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. If I just got rid of it, but with that said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play, and let's go ahead and have a conversation about it afterwards.
Hey, you guys. So I've had a lot of you guys responding to my comments about why Governor Abbott is in India. You guys need to pay attention to what's going on right here. Y'all are saying it's suspect. You don't trust what's going on. Pay close attention. I was going to wait to post this video, but things are escalating so fast. I can't wait on this anymore. So I wanted to share this post from Goldilocks, okay? It says, it's important for us to watch what happens in Texas. Governor Abbott was in India this past week talking about trade deals between Texas and India. Texas has their own shipping port capabilities that will allow them to trade globally with the rest of the world. Texas has 29 official ports of entry into the global economy. They literally have the capacity of being a self-sustaining financial system within their own state. If these new trade deals are successful and Texas begins to move into the new digital asset-based trading system utilizing the UPI or Unified Payment Interface mechanism in trade, we will literally be witnessing the first state in the US to move into our new global economy. Watch the water. Now, Goldilocks mentioned something recently regarding this symbol. We have been trying to figure out what this symbol means on the US debt clock. Unit of measure, limited supply, anonymous. Okay, but we also have gold here. It's inherent, verifiable, but this is a digital symbol. And what you guys have been commenting how this symbol kind of looks like an oil rig. One of my followers sent me this symbol. Okay, it looks very similar. Now, I've been waiting to share these photos and videos with you guys. These have been popping up all over around my house. I live in DFW.
All right, just off of that first little bit that she had to say there, the first portion. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? What comes across your mind when y'all hear some of this? And do you think she's on track at all with anything that she's talking about?
Was that a digital currency saying
Yeah, that's what she said.
on the debt clock?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's inedible. I
could
mean, that's
Texas be on his
inedible.
way?
Yeah.
Let's just the short question here, based off of what she's saying, is that everybody in the country already knows Texas is a sustainable state. It was it can be its own country. Question is the political divide and the things that's happening within this country actually leading is it actually leading to a place where people can actually take serious thinking that, hey, Texas is already on this making its move to
No,
become independent?
no. It's getting itself some more financial power so it can, have a little more. But no, no. Nobody's going to leave the weight of the federal government at this point. Unfortunately, at this point, the weight and the power comes through the federal government. So the more, Texas getting itself some more lenient, some more leverage, but we're far over that at this point, I
But
believe. And I believe
again, wouldn't that almost
Texas getting,
that would almost like defeat the purpose of the Constitution and everything else in a way? But I mean, like what I mean is, I guess I would have to ask, like, isn't the federal government only powerful because we the people say it is?
and we have,
No, I'm saying I said that's the only power that it has really is
yeah,
because we the people say it is.
yeah,
Without we the people, it's not nothing.
true,
It's not a self-sustainable thing.
true. But ain't
Yep.
nobody gonna leave that
So
behind at this.
with that said, nothing's really stopping Texas from saying I no longer want to be a part of the union.
Yeah, nothing's stopping it, of course. And of course, you break down the state rights. Yes, it's 50 different countries. Ohio's self-sustainable. Hell, Kansas is. I mean, every state for the most part is self-sustainable, especially at this point. If you look at what it is, like Michigan, technically, Michigan's self-sustainable. Their industry out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Pennsylvania. But it has come to a point to where it has evolved into such. Now, yes, there is room for states to get more leverage for themselves out there, but for all intents and purposes, power of the United States now runs through Washington, D.C.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on the fence with it, of course. I just I'm looking at it and I'm like, I can see things getting to the point now, one of the things I don't think she got a chance to bring it up, um, but some of the interesting comments that I was reading under the post, was referring to some of the stuff like Brissa. What's the pronunciation of it? Basically, the alliance of Brazil and um,
Hmm.
Cuba and Russia, and I think what is it, South Africa or something like that. Um, but I guess supposedly, according to this little video that she's talking about, there's even a point where she's going to talk about, you know, backdoor deals that's been going on with Texas possibly joining, and that's what all this is about. The whole thing is that they can't join it without a self-sustainable currency, and that's something that's why she's displaying this thing about their currency right
And
now is
obviously,
digital
she's,
currency.
she's, she's taking it too far.
Yeah.
There ain't no way.
Well,
So, I mean, with that being said,
let me ask you. I tell you what, because like I said, I'm paraphrasing basically off of some comments that I read in the section. Now, I didn't actually hear her say it in the way that she puts it because I didn't watch her video. Uh I read the description of the video and of what she was saying and stuff. They got some bullet points on the tweet, and then I read the comments. So I know the bullet points on the video, and I know what some of the tweets were, but let's see if we can go a little further and see what she actually says about Brissa, and kind of then we might be able to have a better conversation about it if we know what she's actually saying about it instead of putting words in her mouth.
Texas. I don't live in the country. This is a highly populated area in a major city. There are about 4 of these within a 5-mile radius that have been popping up around my house. These are oil rigs. Texas has been preparing to become an independent nation. It's all lining up. Okay, there's this rig. There's this rig. I couldn't really get a very good video of it, but it's right there. There's this rig. This is literally right next to my house. This is in a highly populated area, you guys. These things are popping up everywhere. There's this one. And there's this one. Now, I know I keep referencing this, but one of my followers, they decoded Thomas X. The T numerological value is 20 and X is 24. The abbreviation of Thomas X is TX, which is Texas 2024. Now, I want to go back over what Goldilocks was saying. It says Texas.
Now I want to tell y'all right now. I understand that there's like people that's into the numerology of things and everything, and they bring it up whenever they're talking about certain conspiracies and everything that they got going, and they bring up, this number means this and this means that, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I always, get lost on the whole numerologies of when they be talking about that stuff. But other than that, the other stuff be making sense. But then when they get to talking about that numerology and stuff, I believe it just seems like a lot of reaching and stuff sometimes. But I know it makes sense to those who follow. But anyway, that's all I want to say on that.
Ability of being a self-sustaining financial system within their own state. If these new trade deals are successful and Texas begins to move into the new digital asset-based trading system, we will literally be witnessing the first state in the U.S. to move into our new global economy. This symbol here, that's a digital asset backed by oil. That's an oil rig. These are popping up everywhere in Texas, or at least around my house, within a 5-mile radius, and I live in Arlington. I also want to bring in perspective. The Texas Senate Committee considered a proposal Monday. This was back in May.
You said what, Pops?
I'm sorry, it was repeating itself.
Yeah, I got a couple things going on right now that seems like it might have my internet glitching, but I'm trying to make us through it, get us through it. But y'all bear with me the best we can. This video is almost over.
Of 2023, that could give Texans the ability to purchase everyday goods with a new digital currency backed by Texas gold. They're not just talking about gold. They're talking about oil. Texas literally has the capability of being a self-sustaining financial system within their own state. Texas has been preparing to become an independent nation. Goldilocks always says, watch the water, watch the liquidity. It's happening. And we're seeing everything being set up right now, especially how things are escalating at the border. Texas doesn't need the U.S. The U.S. needs Texas. I'm keeping a close eye on this, and I'm going to update you guys, but pay attention. Now, if you guys like my content, come follow me on these platforms, and I'll see you guys there.
Go ahead and let her play out and let her get her little her little plug in real quick. Appreciate your video, young lady. Off the rip, there's probably some gems in there and stuff, and other things that people be like, you're just way far off. So holler back at me, y'all. What are you thinking about this young lady's
I mean, I think that's a great move. Hell, Alaska could do the same thing. California, they got the biggest natural gas deposit in the world. Ohio, we could feed everybody. We ain't got no oil, but we could feed everybody. I mean, all the states have something that they can go on the market with. That's all I mean by that. Now that Texas is doing it, yeah, Texas, okay, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, no,
I mean,
yeah,
I understand where things are. A lot of things can be considered far fetched until they're actually happening. You know,
yeah,
I mean, there's several things culturally going on today that will be considered way far fetched. Not even 10 years ago. So
I mean that's true.
everything can be far fetched until it's actually a reality. Um, I don't know, man. I think that the current administration and the powers to be that have been in control probably since Reagan's time. Actually, I'll say they've been in control since JFK got killed. I'll go back there, and I'm gonna say that assassination all but confirmed their power and their identity. I mean, it consolidated a lot of it. So I will go back to there and say I will take us back to then. And with what America has become, I will I don't think it's as far fetched. I mean, it's
We're
what
gonna
they call
see.
it, American experiment. So do any does is there anybody who is really under the illusion that this experiment is supposed to last forever?
I mean,
I
but do
guess
you
I asked it
allow
that way.
do you allow Texas to succeed, or do you send the weight of the federal government down there and send the military in there to crush their little national guard and put the people of Texas in martial law until y'all act right?
Yeah, I mean, and even that sounds good in theory. However, we all know that. See, it's like a domino effect to me. I ain't gonna say we all know. I'm gonna say, in my head, in my eyes, it would be more like a domino effect. It's not just down to uh, Texas. If that extreme of a move was made, and I would believe that it would be more than just the state of Texas that would engage in that activity.
Who's
You
gonna do
know,
the fighting?
what you mean who'll do the fighting?
I mean, who? Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Who's gonna do the fighting? You get four, five, 10 states talking about we're gonna succeed. Okay, here comes the federal government. There is no the good old days, things ain't like they was. You ain't getting people outside to go raise arms against,
Why
the
not?
North.
Why not? That's exactly why I got all my firearms. Protect
Uh,
myself, self defend myself, defend myself
Self-defending
against
yourself and
others
going to
and
march
inside
away to
government. That whole
self-defending
thing that
yourself.
that whole thing that that whole thing that Joe Biden like to throw around like, "Man, you wanna fight against the federal government, you need F-15s and F-13s and whatnot." Nah, man. That you ain't fooling me with that. Look,
He's right.
it's my choice to give my life for what I believe in. If that means that I have to stand up against my own government's tyranny and lose my life for that,
And
that's my right.
you heard what he told you. We got F-15s, we got drones, we got this, we got that. All you got is your 4.5 and a shotgun.
Hey, the point is
We got
it
trained
doesn't
killers.
matter.
We got Navy SEALs. We got Rangers. We got this. We
That's
got that.
all that's all good for show, and that's all good for somebody who's scared, man, but true patriots and it ain't scared of stuff like that, man. When it comes down to your government overstepping its boundaries, and when the time comes to really enforce the Constitution and the rights that the Constitution gives you, it's your right to die for that. That's what them people thought back in the Revolution War, what people thought in the Civil War. It don't
I
matter.
agree.
But who was going to
I
stand up
agree.
against the federal government in the Civil War? Who's going to stand up, man? Listen, when it's time to fight, people fight. It don't
They
matter.
do.
If
They
it
do.
came down to it right now, and this supposed type of war was to drop out, you think citizens just gonna fall down and say, "Oh, I can't make it"? No, the ones who standing up for what they believe in, that's ready to fight for what they believe in, who's tired of seeing where this is going, and if that final move is made that will push people over that edge, they not caring about no F-15s and tanks and all that. That don't mean nothing. We all gotta go. It's just we all gotta go. First of all, you banking on the fact that the U.S. government be able to use the U.S. military to send it in on its own people. It's not gonna work out as great as they think, as far as that go. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of deserters and people that's just gonna stand up and flat out say, "No, I'm not about to invade my own homeland." It's not gonna happen. That in
I
itself
would hope so.
would splinter much.
I know it's, I know that's why I say things and
I
times are
mean,
different.
those are real life circumstances. You're talking about
Yeah,
the federal government. The federal government's main force is the military that's made up by the U.S. citizens. You don't know who in that military is really standing up on which side of this domestic political arena that you set up. Then that military is not really useful to you like that. You know what I mean? Like
military pretty good with taking
it's
orders.
that's like saying Biden gonna send the National Guard or some form of the military into Texas to go and enforce, or let's say that he wants to sign the one order that people keep talking about that would turn the Texas Guard over to the federal government. Do you really think that by a stroke of a pen, the Texas Guard is going to go and now fight for the U.S. government and not for
Of course not.
the state
I would hope not.
constitution that is supposed to uphold? You see what I'm saying? Like you're looking at that. Those are real consequences and wars and stuff that would really play out, and it's not as clear cut as white and black. I don't mean no pun by that, but I mean it's not that clear cut as far as what would happen in this country, and if those type of extreme circumstances was to come to play out. What they say about the Civil War, neighbor versus neighbor and everything, all that goes into effect. You know, not all that goes into effect. You froze on me over there. All right, well, while he getting unfroze, I'll just keep running my mouth because I don't have no problem with that. But nah, I mean, I just don't. I believe it would be a lot more complex. That's all. And with it being so complex, I don't. I think we would all hope that it wouldn't happen. You know, but
I do too. But it's
who
going
is
down.
right?
It's going
That's what.
down, it's going down in the White House, down in the
Yeah.
White House.